When you generate a Rails project, you get 3 different environments: development, test, and production. But let's say you need to add your own environment. For example, let's say you need a staging environment to do some testing for performance and caching reasons. Well, caching is disabled in the development environment, and production is really not the best place to do testing. So for this, I recommend creating your own staging environment. And to do that in Rails, it's actually very easy. Here we are in our database YAML file, and we just create a new entry for our staging environment. So we just call it staging, and we could either leave our database table the same, database name, or we can use our own custom database for the staging, and I'm going to do that because let's say we want to fill it up with a lot of data to do some benchmarking, for example. So we get our own staging database that we can play around with. And one more thing we need to do is in our environments directory. So each environment, the environment.rb file here is kind of a global configuration file that gets run for every single environment. But each environment has its own configuration file which gets run in addition to that, which only gets run in that specific environment. So what you need to do is add your own staging or whatever environment you're adding, add your own file in here in the environments directory. And then you could set up your configuration file in here however you want. I'm just going to copy the production environment config because I want it very similar to that. The only change I'm going to make for now is to set the log level to debug, because by default it's set to info in the production environment. So setting it to debug will allow us to see the SQL queries and get a better idea for performance issues. Alright, that's pretty much it. Of course you can change this and customize it to however you want in that environment. And then a few more things I'm going to do is one, I'm going to make the staging database. Create that database here. And then I'm going to migrate it. So migrating in a special environment is kind of tricky. You need to pass the Rails environment variable and then pass that just like it. And then it migrates into that specific environment. And then the last thing we're going to do is start up our server in that environment by passing the -e option. And that's pretty much it. That's how you create your own environment and start up a server in that environment. So now you can do all the performance testing you need. Hey, do me a favor and check out our sponsor, peepcode.com. They make excellent Ruby on Rails screencasts, so it should be right up your alley.